Hits the Lloyd Noble Center in Norman. The 5th game of the season for Porter Moser's Oklahoma Sooners, but only their 2nd in their home venue. Tonight they host the Oral Roberts Golden Eagles, who complete their trip around the state tonight. They've already played against and lost to the other Division I teams in the state, Oklahoma State and Tulsa. Great to be courtside with Brendan Manzer. As always, I am Chad McKee. Oklahoma's coming off a game over the weekend, neutral site game against Nebraska, where they scored 99 points and lost. What do you expect their response to be?
Well, scoring is not going to be a problem for this Oklahoma team. The transfer portal was great for Porter Moser. Top 4 scorers, as you see there in the Nebraska game, are also leading the team in terms of the season. They're great in the backcourt with Pack and Brown. The problem is, Chad, in the SEC, you have to defend. They scored 99 points in South Dakota and still got beat. Porter Moser's really been sending a message to his team the last couple of days. I think it's been received. I would expect them to play with lots of intensity on that end of the floor here tonight.
A lot of newness with Oral Roberts, new head coach Corey Barnett. 12 new faces on the roster, including Ty Harper. What's been his immediate impact?
He's really, really good. Terrific at getting downhill. Transferred from Youngstown State. He plays with a lot of confidence and really relishes opportunities on this kind of stage. If he plays well, that will exude to his teammates, get them confidence, and let them hang around in the game here tonight.
Mohamed Wagee in Oklahoma winning the opening tap as the Sooners go to work. This is Wagee, 2nd season as a Sooner. Xavier Brown lobbing it backside. Tay Davis up, missed it. Springs for his own rebound and a reset. Wagee putting it on the deck. High off the glass, no rebound to Connor Dow, the Oklahoma State transfer. Lineup for the Golden Eagles, Jack Turner. We talked about Ty Harper. Dow, the Oklahoma State transfer. Ofri Neve, he came from West Virginia. That's where Corey Barnett was an assistant coach a season ago. Here's Dow. Late shot clock, 7 to get one away. Porter Moser be happy with this defensive set so far. That's an open look for Dow. Good box out there by Xavier Brown to take it.
Yeah, and a good defensive possession right out front for Oklahoma.
Reed a step-in 3 that's strong. And it's volleyballed back out. Pack in, lines one up, and strokes it down. Not many in the country do it better than him.
Well, we're sitting right here, obviously, Chad, and when Harper didn't get to it and the ball lands in Pack's hands, I mean, that's a wide open one. He very rarely misses those type of shots.
That is 331 career threes for Nigel Pack, 2nd most among active Division I players. Again, Golden Eagles being very diligent on offense, but Pack takes it away. One-on-one against Turner. Tries to move him and scores anyway over the top, 5-0.
Well, that's 2 solid defensive possessions to start. Being solid is just keeping guys in front.
Gray wide open. Lunging at him was Wagee. Maybe that impacted the shot as Davis takes it the other way for the Sooners. And Davis fouled. They'll call a hold here against Ty Harper. Porter Moser, you talked about it. Offense, not much to complain about. He said they do have some shooters who can shoot it a little bit better. They have through the course of their careers, but it's been very good. It's just about the defensive end, and he used the word competitive physicality, Brendan.
Yeah, you know, you can rest on the offensive end. The ball's not in your hands. You can never rest defensively, whether you're on the ball or away. And I think away from the ball is where they've gotten themselves in trouble. I mean, obviously they got to contain better up front, but you got to have a sense of urgency, and that's what he's trying to relay to his team. And was honest. You will not win in league play if this doesn't change.
13 to shoot. Harper surveys. Crossover hesitation, might have gotten away with an extra step. 3 ball is strong out of the hands of Turner. Offensive rebound. Neve back up and under and in for the first ORU bucket.
Yeah, great job, Neve. A couple of Sooners around him right there. Spent a year ago at West Virginia, redshirted. Did not play, but maybe the key to their ball club long term.
Oklahoma's longest possession on the offensive end. Look at Mo Wagee put it on the deck. Reed gallops across the paint, high off the window and down for his first field goal.
You know, Reed is definitely talented. It's a former McDonald's All-American. I do think he continues to improve offensively. Nice little move right there.
Reed transferred to Oklahoma from Alabama. Missed 13 games with injury last year, but he was on that Elite 8 team. Turnover against the Golden Eagles. That will not make their first-year head coach, Corey Barnett, happy. He was an assistant at West Virginia, but prior to that, he was with Steve Alford, an assistant coach in Nevada, UCLA, and he is a former Hoosier, played there from 09 to 2012. And Steve's son, Corey, is the associate head coach of the Golden Eagles. He is very tied to Steve Alford, very grateful for the chances he's got.
Yeah, obviously very close. 5 years at Nevada with Coach Alford, 6 at UCLA.
Davis goes up over the top of everybody, 9-2 Sooners. Harper, they run him off the three-point line. He can shoot it. He's made 11 threes this year. Wonkwo tries to stay with him. That was a tough running shot. Pack races the other way. The Sooners have subbed. One of them is Forsythe. Wonkwo the other. Lines one up. Not this time. And Connor Dow has the miss.
Yeah, and Wonkwo has really struggled from three-point range so far this season. He's now 1 of 13. And on that shot, to me, it looked like somebody not confident, just kind of hoping it would go in.
He's a 37% career three-point shooter, but just as you said, hasn't gotten on track. Here comes Pack. And threw it away. I think he thought Davis was going to reach up and grab it, much to the dismay of Porter Moser. That's the Sooners' first turnover, but they have a 9-2 lead at our first media stoppage on SEC Network.
He really teaches both ends of the floor well. But yeah, those are tough places. Gonzaga being one of the best teams in the country. I think Nebraska, and this was before their win against Oklahoma. I think people around the country are like, oh, wait a second, Fred Hoiberg's got a pretty nice team. You know, they got a chance to be in the middle of the Big Ten. So it's not the losses that bother you. It's that 15-2 run against Gonzaga that Oklahoma had those lapses mentally, and then it was the defense against Nebraska. Good news, correctable things.
Shot clock is down to 5. Neve tried to get one up. This is Yuto Yamanuchi-Williams on the attack, and Wagee up for the Sooner rebound. Now, Reed is back kind of trailing this play for Oklahoma. Forsythe tries to step between a double team, and he's fouled across the arm by Ofri Neve.
And we talked a lot about Brown and Pack, and as everybody will, each and every game. But Dayton Forsythe gives them a third guard out there that can make plays, can score. He's been shooting it really well. You can probably, if you're Porter Moser, always have at least 2 of those 3 out on the floor. It will be tough in SEC play for all 3 of them to go. They're just not very big. But Forsythe has really continued to get better and better.
Pack lobbing it up. Wagee up with the left hand to finish it. Such a difference maker, Brendan, when he is out there and not in foul trouble.
Yeah, and I like Oklahoma attacking the middle. They've only taken 3 3-point shots here early. They're trying to get to that paint, get those big touches. Take a look right here, Chad. Here's Wagee. Look at that. He rolls to the rim. And then when you're a big, you have to roll quickly. And 1 of 2 things happen. One, if they don't roll with you, you're going to have an easy one like we saw right there. Or you drag the defense with you, and then something develops from your hard roll to the rim.
Cal Furnish has entered the lineup here. He's one of the locals, one of the Oklahoma players on the Oral Roberts roster. They've done a good job keeping players home. Porter Moser was talking about that, applauding Corey Barnett and the ORU staff today. Dump down pass. Neve couldn't get the shot away. Wonkwo picks it up for Oklahoma. Here's Wagee on the deck, end to end. Wonkwo slashes and missed it. It rolled off the front. Back tapped out of bounds, and to the Golden Eagles it goes.
That's, you know, those are the type of bunnies that you might be able to survive in a game like tonight. But January and February, you can't. That's the 3rd layup that Oklahoma has missed. There were 2 early at the start of the tip.
Well, we see the first appearance in an Oklahoma Sooner uniform for Jadon Jones out of Long Beach, California. Long Beach State transfer, missed all of last season at Oklahoma with injury. He's been out this year with a growing strain. So 5 games in plus a year, Sooner fans see Jadon for the first time.
Yeah, and he could shoot it. 77 3-point makes 2 years ago. But the most important thing, he's the Big West Defensive Player of the Year.
Shot clock is at 5. Wagee couldn't quite get there, and Neve lays it in. Second bucket for the Golden Eagles.
Yeah, Neve is going to be a big force in the Summit League at that 4 spot. He can drive it and get to the rim quick.
And here is Jones. His first shot's going to put him at the foul line. As Dow closed out too hard, and Jadon Jones, that's a good way to get yourself into it, is get yourself to the free throw line. Well, the left-hander, you mentioned 77 threes, 61 steals, and 33 blocks on that Long Beach State team. And they went to the NCAA tournament. First foul shot attempts. He's got to be a little bit nervous.
Yeah, it's been a long, it's March of 24 before he's seen game action. And there's got to be a little bit of rust, but I don't think it'll take him long. I mean, he's still a veteran when it comes down to it.
And that's the big thing. He's played somewhere in the neighborhood of 122 games at the collegiate level, the experience, and he's been around learning from Porter Moser. Remember, last season, he was not somewhere else. He was here, just didn't get the opportunity to play. And now we get Kawal Atak in for the first time as well.
And the other thing it does is, you know, at least here early indications is there's 8 players that Coach Moser trusts.
Yeah.
Right now, and that gives you a night. So it helps for depth, versatility. And most importantly, he can guard. I mean, he can really defend.
Makes scrimmaging a little bit easier. Clay Custer isn't having to be out there quite as much. The Sooner assistant coach, Final Four member of Loyola.
He'd be out there anyway.
That's true. Atak, the block, sent it right back at Neve. Back up though, Neve. Perseverance pays off. He's got 2 buckets.
Yeah, he's just a versatile athlete at both ends of the floor. Neve.
Ankle breaker from Brown. Kick out 3-ball. Davis rattled in and out. And chasing back the other way comes Turner for the Golden Eagles. And Jones pins him on the baseline. That one tipped out of bounds as Brown got himself into the passing lane. It'll be a spot throw in for ORU.
Well, it hasn't been perfect defensively for Oklahoma. But I've been watching, you know, when I do these games, most of the time I'll watch away from the ball anyway. And I'm looking at the Oklahoma Sooners. Are they jumping to the ball? Are they down? Are they seeing ball and man? And just the eye check tells you, at least so far, it looks better.
You watch away from the ball when you do these games. Do you watch the offensive line when you watch football games?
I do sometimes, just because I don't understand all the other things. I feel like I feel like their job is to be in front of people.
It is. Brown picks off that pass. Sooners with their 3rd steal in the early going. Atak, corner 3. That's good.
Well, he can certainly do that. Guy that takes about 70% of his shots from beyond the arc. He's obviously got that tremendous length. You have to be there on the catch and discourage that 3.
8 made threes now for Kawal Atak. That's Chase Martin scraping up the loose change. Inside, Yamanuchi Williams gives it up. Golden Eagles with 10 to shoot. Yamanuchi Williams circles and scores. Nice feed in there by Neve.
Yeah, see, we're already seeing what you can do with Neve. He's got tremendous versatility, handles it, and that was just such a great 2-man play with Yamanuchi.
Jones, first 3. A little off the side rim. 17-8 Oklahoma. Kawal Atak has knocked down his 8th 3 of the season, Brendan.
A lot of length right here. 6'9". He's probably still growing. You think you're there, but you're not. He makes the defense pay. With his size, he's a presence. He had a really tough assignment in South Dakota against Nebraska the other day where they really made him cover a lot of the floor. Not really something that he will have to do as much. Nebraska being so unique, but he can make his impact defensively. He needs to stay out of foul trouble. But here's the thing. Against Gonzaga, he scored 2. Against Nebraska, he had 2 points and 3 rebounds. You got to get a little bit more production in those 2 categories out of him. But I think he's more than capable to do that.
Reed bopped that ball away from behind to get the Sooners their 4th steal. Nigel Pack back in. Ian Brown, what a tandem, averaging 38 per game between the 2 of them. They are right now tied for 7th in the SEC scoring-wise, these 2 guards. Pack, run him off the three-point line. He can make you pay in there as well. Shot clock at 5. Oklahoma's got to get one up. Wiggy, good extra pass, and they've got time. He got it away, but it skips over the iron and over the backboard. Tay Davis missing that.
Boy, Reed had Cal Furnish on him, and credit Furnish for staying in front, but
he didn't stay in front for long once contact happened.
Well, if I'm Reed, I just go right at it.
11 minutes to go. 17-8 Sooners here in the opening half. Oral Roberts, they are starting a 5-game road trip here tonight. Nice give and go. A ball fake in there by Martin. He'll kick it out to Harper, and he's off with that three-point try. Golden Eagles 0 for 5 from downtown so far. Tay Davis, now he's going to try to back down Furnish. Extra pass to Pack on the way, and it's in. I mean, it does not take him long or much space to get that one off.
No, and he's got such a quick release. And, you know, the only way you can be successful at his size is with that quick release and understanding spacing.
Skipping to grab that rebound comes Xavier Brown. Hasn't scored yet tonight. Lobbing it up. Wagee punches it home. And a timeout taken by Corey Barnett and the Golden Eagles. Sooners work Wagee off the screen, and Xavier Brown goes up top to him. These guards, Pack and Brown, right here on these two possessions.
Yeah,
brother.
look at this ball movement. Brown, see, it's like a second baseman. As soon as he catches it out of his hands, Pack doesn't need much space because of the quick release. And then we talked about Wagee getting him more involved. 2 really good back-to-back offensive possessions from Oklahoma. Getting some distance between they and Oral Roberts. But to me, the best number is that 8 for ORU midway through this first half.
The Golden Eagles have shot 4 out of 14. They have not yet made a 3. Point of emphasis, they know that Oral Roberts will take a lot of threes. They can make a lot of threes. And for Corey Barnett, you know, we talked to him. They just want to get back to being them. You ask, they want to be ready for January the 1st when they get into Summit League play. They'll be tested between now and then, but for them, it's about not looking ahead, trying to get back to what they want to do, Brendan. Playing hard, play connected. But Oklahoma is, they've been challenged by their head coach on the defensive end, and I think that's shown up.
Well, it's been public, but he was getting after them today. Good contest right there and shoot around. I mean, to a man, he was in them on the defensive floor.
Brown shot sent away by Connor Dow. Connor Dow, no stranger to that. That's 12 blocks. He had 7 in a game you broadcast against his former team, Oklahoma State. Now, they lost the game, but those blocks had to feel pretty good.
He was tremendous. Has really good timing, good length. So a couple of those are away from the ball, and the most impressive ones when he's able to do it on the ball.
Oklahoma by 14. Sooners have their largest lead right here. Wankwo, they run him off the 3 line. He'll bang his way in and earn himself a couple of free throws. Chase Martin will be called for the foul. Wankwo, a rugged player. He spent a season on the football team at Tulane. Did I say that right? It's Tulane, Brendan. Say it with me. Tulane.
Tulane?
Tulane. You said Tulane. It's Tulane. You got to emphasize the 2.
So I didn't do that?
No, we'll work on that later. Wanko,
man,
back to the line.
I don't get self-conscious very much, but
that's okay.
Tulane?
Yeah.
Is that like Durant, Oklahoma?
Similar, not exact.
All right.
But Wankwo, after that, didn't play there. And then he's able to get himself onto the basketball court, and that's been huge. 2 years Cali County Community College, was a junior college All-American, but missed last year with an Achilles tear here at Oklahoma, had to sit out, as did Jadon Jones.
Yeah, and he's still going to be a really important piece. You know, offensively, probably in his mind a little bit, but once he gets 1 or 2 threes to go down, you know, I think that will change.
Solid ball movement, but the OU is there on the catch. There's the dribble penetration by Harper to lay it in.
Yeah, and that's more like what you see out of Oral Roberts. Dow draws a little help. They swing it, and you get the ball to a guy that's great downhill.
Reed, the nice dish. Davis blocked from behind, but a foul call. And I think they're going to get Neve for that one. That will be number 2.
Yeah, so that's important right there with Neve having 2. When he's out of the game, Oral Roberts looks drastically different offensively, again, because of his versatility at that 4 spot, because he can make decisions from there, does very well. But as of now, Corey Barnett's going to leave him in and trust him not to pick up that 3rd.
Yeah, he said that Neve is their glue, he's their voice, and now they will take him out. Chase Martin returns.
And what you can do right here, obviously at 8:54, you got an under 8 media timeout upcoming. You kind of buy your time a little bit and go with feel with the rest of the half in terms of managing Neve.
Look at Dayton Forsythe get in there and wrestle that rebound away. Xavier Brown, double team. Nwankwo, drop step, dish, Davis up and good.
I like Nwankwo right there, Chad. I mean, no hesitation, a little ball movement. He catches, the seam was there, and boom, he went right through it and made a positive play.
Sooners their largest lead, 26-10, 8.5 to go here in the opening half. Turner was knocked away briefly by Forsythe. Now Jack Turner trying to go to work. A little short with that one. And that was saved by Martin. Off of whom? It was off an Oklahoma Sooner. Jeb Hartness in to give the ruling on that.
And watch this, Nwankwo right here. And we talked about maybe not having a ton of confidence on offense, but right there, that was a confident drive, had space, used his size, was under control, and then an easy dump down to Davis. Really good.
Martin will chase this one down to the backcourt. Shot clock at 20 as the Golden Eagles work it. They run Dow off the 3 line. He'll get a 3 for Turner, and that's the first made 3 of the night for Oral Roberts.
Well, Dow has made a couple really nice drives where he's forced the help and got the ball moving. And Turner, a 37% 3-point shooter, makes good right there.
Barnett said they tried to get him at Nevada, and then he transferred in from Loyola Chicago. Did not play for Porter Moser when Porter was coaching Loyola Chicago. Nwankwo's 3. That was way off. Right into the lap of Yamanuchi Williams. Harper trying to hesitate, but can't shake Davis. Backs his way down. Might have shuffled the feet a couple of times and fired up an air ball.
That's how you go. Yeah, that was tremendous. That was sound. It was tough from Davis. That's exactly what Porter Moser wants.
Xavier Brown still hasn't scored, but he's got a couple of assists. Wagee pivots over the top. Oh, nice for the big man, leaning in with the left.
And Wagee been able to finish a little bit around the rim. 6 points now on 3 or 4 shooting.
He's got really good feet. This pass a little tall. Dow is able to save it, though. Turner tried to split a double team, drifted off Wagee's foot, and then a reach-in foul. Little too anxious was Nwankwo. They whistle him. Sooners by 15. Mo Wagee and Oklahoma. 15-point advantage, under 8. Look at him spin. Dancing to the bucket. A couple of buckets for Mo Wagee tonight. Game in a heartbreaker. And they dropped one to Oklahoma State to start the year. Xavier Brown steals the inbound pass from Turner, who dives to the floor to take it back. That was a pretty good little melee. Golden Eagles 20 to shoot. Dow skipping through the paint. Furnish stepped on the sideline. So Oklahoma's defense, Brendan, let's talk about it. Porter Moser, that was the focus the days they've had since the loss to Nebraska. Oral Roberts shooting 32%. They've only made 1 of 7 threes. You're talking 3 blocks and 4 steals. The numbers look good. How does it pass the eye test?
Yeah, it's a lot better.
Reed off the mark.
And I'll just give you some comparisons. They scored 46 points against Oklahoma State in the first half.
We're talking ORU.
Yeah, ORU. They almost scored 90 against Tulsa. So it's very good from Oklahoma today.
Wagee takes off. and dunks one down. He also sprawled out into the front row down there. Looks like he's okay as he runs back. Back inside to Martin. Look at McGee hustle back the other way. I'm telling you, he impacted that shot after falling into the front row the other way. Turner for three. Strong off the iron. Reed the rebound. And McGee leaks out. Uh-oh, showtime. Mo McGee bangs down 2 in a row. Running to the rim, and the Sooners lead by 19.
Boy, in ORU, you have to understand your perimeter players. Sometimes it's that point guard. Sometimes it's just the weak side, most high perimeter player. You have to get back. That's back-to-back easy ones, not only for Oklahoma, but for the big man McGee.
That's 10 for Mohamed McGee tonight. Furnish for 3. No. Foul on the rebound underneath. A little pushing and shoving. And Chris Ford whistles a foul against the Sooners.
Yeah, here's the advance up the floor. Easy one for McGee. And then right there, slips behind Oral Roberts. Poor defensive balance from them, and Oklahoma extends it up to almost 20.
6-0 run. McGee's going to get a little breather. Off to a very good start. He's made 5 of 6 from the field. And you're right, 19-point lead. Attacking the rim is Gray off the inbound. Just found a wide open seam.
Yeah, and Corey Barnett on their underneath out of bounds, but there's multiple action, so you got to defend it all the way through. That was one of those cases where away from the ball, even though it was underneath out of bounds, Oklahoma relaxed. They haven't done that very much here tonight, but they did in that case.
Xavier Brown a little short with that one as it rolls off the rim. Here comes Cal Furnish. How about a 3 by Gray? An air ball. Reed throws it off the leg of Chase Martin. It'll be Sooner basketball.
Yeah, I don't think that's what Barnett wants from Gray. Now, Gray can shoot it. When his feet are set, he's really good pick and pop. And a much improved shooter from a year ago. But that gets tough in transition to get your feet set like that and give it a good look.
You need him to play well. Corey Barnett said he can change us when he's playing well.
Yeah, especially in the Summit League. You know, he can play in that 4 and 5 spot. I mean, his body's really transformed since high school. I mean, really talented.
He played at Oklahoma Christian School, where he is the all-time leading scorer, passing, a gentleman known all across the state, especially in Norman, as Blake Griffin. Broke Blake Griffin's scoring record in high school. And you and I watched Blake Griffin play in high school. I don't think I would have ever thought that would happen. There's that number. He and Wayman Tisdale, the twin 23s up in the rafters at the Lloyd Noble Center. You got the Griffin Family Performance Center on the south side of the LNC. Jadon Jones back to the foul line, where he converted after being fouled on a 3-point try. Splashes home another one. Perfect so far. His 4 points. 7 different Oklahoma Sooners have scored tonight, and McGee leads them all. And Xavier Brown is not one of them. He's averaging 19 a night, but this balanced attack for Porter Moser, and they haven't needed much from Xavier Brown.
To me, and I was thinking the same thing, but I think he's doing more managing, which is fine. Oklahoma's playing well.
Harper a little short with that one, and Pack takes a pretty hard fall underneath. They're going to get Neve. Nope, did they get Martin for the foul?
You know, going back to Oklahoma's defense, Chad, like we've been discussing, and they haven't done anything special, but look at that right there. They're not allowing a guy that has really been successful of turning corners against good teams and getting to the rim, and Harper. So nothing necessarily sexy about Oklahoma defensively, but it's amazing if you contain and keep in front, you know, and accept your individual defensive assignment. It makes it tough for people to score. It makes them tough to run their stuff, because when you give up dribble penetration, it forces help, and then good teams exploit that. Oklahoma's just containing better, and that's made them better defensively.
And Porter Moser was also emphasizing off-ball defense. He said once you get your guys stopped, you still have a responsibility off the ball. He described it in baseball terminology for us today, Brendan. Don't be picking daisies in right field. Now, you've coached Little League. You've seen that. I may have been guilty of that a time or two, but it applies to basketball.
Yeah, baseball people, it was pretty funny when he said it. He said, we can't be picking daisies in right field away from the ball. Of course, he's a baseball guy,
That's
too.
That's right. Neve splashes one down for the Golden Eagles. Pack right back, short. And it volleys off a couple of fingertips, collected by Furnish. Neve, nice dump down for Gray. And he couldn't complete the play. Good look for the Golden Eagles, though. Jadon Jones. He's missed a couple from out there. Neve trying to work against Jones, who stayed in front of him well. Oklahoma's been good defensively. Oral Roberts just 17 points, and they've shot 8 of 27 so far. 10 to shoot. Martin trying to spin in. Jones right there with Neve. Just got it away. And boy, that was a good defensive possession, but just a good shot by Neve with 1 on the shot clock. And we've got a timeout. Sooners by 17. 3 minutes to go in the opening half. Mo Wagee leading the charge. He's got 10 to pace the Sooners.
Yeah, and I'll be honest. I think people that have followed ORU or have paid any attention, I mean, I think it'd be fair to say, now they got a long way to go. But in Corey Barnett's first year, I mean, it'd be understandable if it didn't look great, right? But this team has some promise. And they're without one of their key guys in Lane Sparks, who got hurt in the Oklahoma State game. And he would be making a big impact in a game like this. But with Neve, you see him right there. I really like him at both ends of the floor. Ty Harper in that league could be one of the best lead guards. And then they're well coached. So I think that Corey Barnett and Oral Roberts has a bright future.
Gray trying to back down Wagee. That's tough to do. Wagee's got a big height mismatch, but he got the big fella off of his feet. And so Wagee picks up personal foul number 2.
Yeah, Wagee had him dead to rights. Just stay down, use your size, wall up. But he took the bait from Gray. Credit Gray for multiple pump fakes and creating that contact.
And those are the ones that Wagee will have to avoid. You get into SEC play, he has to be on the floor for Oklahoma to maximize what they want to do this year. As Gray splashes down the first.
And I think, I know. It's a work in progress, the 4 and 5 spot for Oklahoma. You're talking about Wagee needed to be on the floor, or at least be available as an option for Porter Moser to make this personnel decisions.
Porter Moser does have a really talented freshman they're excited about in Kai Rogers. He's played 3 of the first 4 games. Had a little nagging injury at the beginning of the year, so I'm sure we'll see him at some point tonight.
Yeah, and I think that you're going to see him a lot more upcoming. If you think about it, 2 of their first 4 games were against potential NCAA tournament teams. And Rogers, as talented as he is, and it's nothing against him, he's young. He's still getting ready, used to the pace of the college game.
In and out 3 for Harper, and Brown kind of battling with Martin for that loose ball that goes out off Xavier Brown. This is a 6-0 run for Oral Roberts, able to get some things accomplished on the offensive end and cut the Oklahoma lead down 15. Martin's out now. Neve is in there. We'll keep an eye on him. He's got 2 fouls here with 2 minutes left in the opening half.
What you're looking for if you're Porter Moses, continued stops on the defensive end.
Like that, Forsythe with the strip of Harper. Forsythe back and forth, stops and pops. Beautiful basketball. The strip and the score for the Dale Oklahoma product.
Well, he did a great job of keeping Harper in front. And even if there was contact, the reason it wasn't called is because Forsythe did a great job of keeping in legal guarding position and squared up.
Long 3 and a high arcer buried by Connor Dow, his 9th of the year.
Yeah, and Dow's the type of player from long range. Now you have to be especially cognizant that he's knocked one down. He's pretty streaky out there. 6 of his makes this year were against Tulsa, where he was outstanding, but he hasn't consistently shot it well.
Deal and dish for the dunk. Beautiful drop off by Davis. Reed rocks the rim.
Those are the type of things I think Davis can help Oklahoma with. And even though they don't have a great back to the basket player, but that's where they can utilize him in the paint to get paint points.
Oklahoma by 16, a turnover there. Davis works his way back and forth to the rim, and he will shoot a pair.
And watch Davis.
I think Neve took a shot to the neck there. Really slow to get up.
Yeah, good to see him pop up right there in Neve. Here it is. And that's Davis. I mean, that is 6'9", 220-ish right there, coming downhill at you. He's just really talented, athletic. He has the ability, Chad, to defend at multiple spots. You know, he's just got to continue to condition himself to be interested in the level which he could get defensively.
No doubt.
He's got, you know, length and size, just like Reed.
He's been so impactful rebounding. Had 15 rebounds against UAPB, a game that you and I did. 11 of them offensive. He's averaging nearly 5 offensive rebounds per game, tops in the SEC. Final possession in all likelihood here.
Yeah, let's see if Oklahoma can do what they've done most of the half. Keep in front, be sound, limit ORU to just one shot right here.
Stripped by Nwankwo and then fouled by Harper. Well, that's a good way to close out the half defensively if you're Porter Moser, right?
And what you like about this play is that he doesn't gamble. He's just keeping in front. Boom, right there. That's solid. Harper, who rarely exposes the ball like that out in the open floor, makes a mistake. And Nwankwo, you know, he's so physical. Just taps it away, uses his length. You know, we just talked about Davis, Reed, 6'9", 6'8". Nwankwo, 6'6".
Yeah, the length and athleticism to be good defensively.
It's there.
The pieces are here.
It's there. Jones now back, 6'5".
There's a foul in the backcourt, but the Sooners had 2 fouls to give. So really, you know, they can exhaust most of this clock if they foul even one more time. That is only 5 team fouls against Porter. So you've defended this way, and you haven't even put Oral Roberts in the bonus. Another strip by Nwankwo. Has to launch it up, but it doesn't fall. Oklahoma with 9 first-half steals. 2 in the final minute by Jeff Nwankwo. Sooners lead by 18, Brendan.
Well, solid defense. We talked about it all half, keeping everything in front, keeping ORU off the glass. The offense is going to be there with guys like Pack. But they forced 10 Oral Roberts turnovers. I think that's an impressive number. Something Oklahoma has not consistently done with their opponents this year is get those live ball turnovers.
Back to that.
Well, and they will do this if you pay any attention. They need to play with toughness, you know, be competitive, try to make the game, I think score-wise, more respectable, maybe make a little run. But yes, with the one-bid league, this is more about long-term, way more than it is for Oklahoma.
And a steal. Up high to get that one goes Tay Davis. 10 Oklahoma steals. Davis, lane opens. He crashes into Gray. And then when he's able to put it back up and in, he's got a dozen.
Yeah, it's a pretty nice contest right there from Gray, but Wagee cleaning it up once again.
A dozen from Wagee. His career high is 16 earlier this year. Connor Dow, that's 2 he's got. You said when he sees one go down, look out.
Yeah, great catch and shoot right there. Terrific find with the X pass across Oklahoma's defense by Harper.
And so Connor Dow now 6, both of them from the 3-point line. Pack curls off a screen. Xavier Brown running him off the 3-point line. So good on the handle and just drops that one down. That's his first field goal of the night. They haven't needed a score.
Yeah, I kind of like to see him get aggressive. I mean, he obviously can play make. A guy that can facilitate and score at that point guard position.
Neve Oklahoma switches, and Reed saves it for another steal.
Yeah, that's 11 steals for Oklahoma.
Pack couldn't get the three away. Popping out to get him came Neve. He'll take him to the bucket. Unfriendly bounce. Dow wants another. And off with that one. Heat check.
Yeah, that was one that's not in rhythm. In my opinion, you watch him in high school at Broken Arrow, where he was a tremendous player. Oklahoma State now at ORU. He is best when the ball finds him. You get those feet set, get some rhythm. Much better than pulling up in a situation like we saw right there.
2 minutes into the second half. It is Oklahoma by 19. Sooners just lead 21. And a foul. What a night for Mo Wagee. The Sooners continue to ride their big man.
Yeah, it looks like Brown's a little less managing here in the second half and more in attack mode. We've seen him score, and watch him right in the hand up. Boom, turns the corner, Furnish is trailing, puts Gray in a tough position, and that's a perfect pass. Brings Gray to him, see him right there. That allows the space. Wagee makes a nice athletic play, continues to have a big night.
2 off a career high, and 7 of 8 from the field is Mohamed Wagee tonight. 1 away from that career high now. We've told his story many times. It's a guy that grew up in Mali, was at Harcum College, West Virginia, and then Alabama on their Final Four team. He played hurt late in the year on that Alabama team, so that led to surgery, and he had to recover all the summer of 2024. So part of playing his way into shape last year to start the season for the Sooners. That's a beautiful conversion for Yamanuchi Williams. Near turnover, but Brown bails the Sooners out, resets things. Beautiful pass into the corner. Wide open, dashing goes Davis. Couldn't complete the play. The Sooners have missed 4 or 5 from in there close. Turner, little fake, and found himself open to lay that in.
Yeah, pretty nifty play right there. He hasn't really been able to turn the corner much tonight. Creates that on his own.
Wagee springs high and has a career high. 17 and 3 rebounds for Mohamed Wagee now.
And you know, he should make an impact offensively, especially tonight. He's pretty big size advantage, but I like his lack of hesitation. He's sure with himself there in the paint.
And that's a travel. A little hesitation the other way by Yamanuchi Williams. And that is 14 ORU turnovers.
You watch this right here. Sometimes bigs overthink when they touch it. Watch him. Little shove right there using that size. Catches, goes right up. Very fluid. Looking sharp.
There was reason for optimism about Mohamed Wagee coming into the year. Porter Moser talked about what he did. The last 4 games when he started, he averaged 10 points, 9 rebounds per game. And that included 2 NCAA tournament games.
Yeah, no experience. I mean, it's there for sure. Best thing that he's going to do night in, night out is defend and rebound.
8-4 side. 2 good fakes. An open teammate he finds. Reed. Yamanuchi Williams outlet pass, and Neve was not looking. Xavier Brown wiggling to the bucket. Reed attacks. Can't finish it though. Xavier Brown wide open look, and he knocks down his first 3 of the night. Sooners by 23. Xavier Brown's got 5 here in the second half. Nice back cut there, but Turner couldn't find the handle. Bounces on out of bounds. It will stay here as it was a Sooner who touched it. Media stoppage time. 54-31 Oklahoma.
I had the really good first half, Chad, having a good second half. The second half, though, what I like is he's scoring off offensive rebounds. He's got 2 offensive boards, a couple of putbacks. He's handled it in traffic. looks confident. But here's the thing. Oklahoma's going to have to develop, we talked about in the first half, as the season progresses at the 4 and 5 position. Mo McGee can't play 35 minutes a game. You know, it might even be difficult in SEC play to play any more than 25 minutes a game. I don't want to put an exact number on it, but they have to develop their depth there. To me, those are the two biggest things: defense and the 4 and 5 position improving.
Porter Moser has to be happy about what he has seen, in particular on the defensive end tonight. His team holding Oral Roberts to 38% shooting. Sooners have a collective 12 steals. Jadon Jones back out there for his first playing time as an Oklahoma Sooner. After 1 year and 5 games in. 5 to shoot for Connor Dow. Jones stays right in front of him. Makes him take a tough shot. Boy, what a good defensive set there by Jadon Jones. Brown says, let's run a little offense here. Tried to split that double team, fouled by either Dow or Turner. And you like the aggressiveness second half here by Xavier Brown.
Yeah, and you know, he played very good the first half. Look at that. There's the length. Keep in front, contest, one and done. It's always been important in basketball, Chad, but more than ever, you know, when I play, and I don't say this like when I play because I was so great. People know that's not the case. But years ago, teams had 2, maybe 3 guys that could really attack you off the bounce. It was a different, you know, you had bigs, you had true 4s, and 3-4s, etc., forwards. So it was a different game. But now, you're at minimum, you're going to have 3 really good, skilled ball handlers that can attack you. Probably at least 4 at the highest level in the league that Oklahoma plays in. Sometimes 5. So you have to contain. You have to be able to contain at 4 spots and sometimes 5. And Oklahoma has done that tonight. I mean, Oral Roberts has really looked good offensively at different stretches this year. We talked about the Oklahoma State game against Tulsa. And you see Tulsa a lot. They're much improved. So these are against pretty good people. Oklahoma's just continued to contain and be diligent in their individual defensive assignments.
And limited sample size, but that defense got better when Jadon Jones got healthy and got on the floor. He's past Defensive Player of the Year when he was at Long Beach State in that conference. You can just tell, watching some of these trips down court, how good he can be. 15 to shoot for the Golden Eagles. Oklahoma leads by 25. Neve bounces to the cutting Martin. Sooners rotate over, but a foul call. Will be a baseline inbound. They get Xavier Brown with the personal foul. That is number 2 on Brown. It's like McGee is okay. Checking out his left leg as he gets up from the floor. And Nigel Pack is ready to come in. He'll spell Brown. McGee kind of grabbing his left foot. That's what it appears to be. Jones is making it tough on Gray here. Turner lost it. Pack never touched it, and he dribbled it out of bounds. Oklahoma in the middle of a 7-0 run here.
Yeah, Oklahoma's done a great job with Turner. Porter Moser specifically mentioned Turner to us earlier today. Talked about his tremendous shooting ability, but he just hasn't been able to get very many good looks.
Jadon Jones strokes down his first Oklahoma 3. What a welcome addition this guy is.
Well, he has definitely come out ready to catch and shoot.
I love it. The counter 3 the other way for Luke Gray out of the deep corner.
Yeah, nice job by Gray. Gray played 11 minutes a year ago as a freshman at ORU, only made 4 threes. That's his 7th 3 of the year. Much improved, more confident shooter in his 2nd season.
Dayton Forsythe, right hand, flips it back up to the rim and in. 61-34 Sooners. A little more broken floor situations here.
Yeah, and you know, Forsythe and Brown haven't necessarily done what they're going to do most nights offensively, but that's okay because the defense has been so good.
Turner tries to turn the corner. Extra pass, furnished with a 3. And there's Jadon Jones up for the rebound. Jadon Jones His first three, his first rebound. He's perfect at the line. 8 points in his Sooner debut. Pack lobbing backside. McGee fouled. Oh, he was ready to thrust that one down too, but Gray bumped him.
Well, Oklahoma and Oral Roberts have traded trays the last couple of possessions. Really nice setup by Forsythe. Well, his vision just continues to improve. There's Janon Jones and then Luke Gray right there, able to knock it down as we talked about earlier. With Gray, Corey Barnett, he said he is really important for what we're doing. Those 4s and 5s are so important, Chad. Anymore, you still can, but you could just, if you had great guard play, you could kind of hide your bigs at both ends of the floor. Can't do that now. You need them to produce, and he feels like Gray, Neve especially, can be important pieces for them in conference play.
You know, those 4s and 5s can be a little pricey in the transfer portal also, Brent.
Yes.
Yeah, there's that. They're like defensive tackles in the transfer portal, right?
Yeah. If you're 6'10", mobile, and can and have a pulse, you can make a little money.
Well, McGee has had a night. He's over on Porter Moser's bench with a career-high 18 points, 4 rebounds, and a blocked shot. 13 minutes left. Oklahoma impressive in particular on the defensive end against the ORU Golden Eagles, who've got 10 to shoot. Martin bangs his way in, tries to spin and to go over the top on Pack. Late whistle, foul call. Nigel Pack says, what did I do?
Well, that's good offense right there. Oklahoma has done a good job of protecting the backdoor cuts. But there was enough movement, crisp movement. And then Martin, who doesn't look to score much, but makes an intelligent play right there because he has a matchup or a size advantage on Pack, has the isolation and creates contact.
First one, no for Chase Martin. Took a redshirt year last year, but started his college career at Wofford. Started 22 of 32 games there before coming to Tulsa to play for the Golden Eagles. Koala Talk returns, and Janon Jones gets a breather. He's played good minutes tonight. 8 points in his Oklahoma debut for Janon Jones. It's a 13-4 Oklahoma run. The Sooners just had their largest lead a moment ago, 28. Forsythe steps back and scores.
Nice.
Man, he plays valuable minutes for this team.
Yeah, really good feel right there. So off the screen, he has Furnish behind him.
It's going to be a foul on Nwankwo, trying to stay in front of Ty Harper.
I think Dayton Forsythe made a pretty quick transition as a freshman to the speed and level of play of the SEC, all things considered. But the game, particularly on the offensive end, when you watch him this year, has gotten even slower. The last play, an example of that.
Slowed down for him more this year, and he has looked good. Full off season in Norman playing basketball this year for Dayton Forsythe. Had a good year last year. Had a 25-point game against Ole Miss. In front of Harper, who goes up over the top. Rebound swatted to the floor, and Forsythe will take it the other way.
Yeah, good containment right there by Forsythe, keeping Harper in front.
Rubs off a screen by Davis. They are going to run Pack off the 3 line. Reed left alone, knocks down one. That's the first 3 of the night for Darion Reed.
Well, that's good to see because Reed has struggled from long range this season.
Reed swats that one. Martin tried to get one off, and Reed said, no, not down here. Block number 4 for Oklahoma tonight.
Well, Porter Moser would like Reed to be a two-way player. Knocks down the 3 right here, smooth and in rhythm, and then great defense. Again, just keeping in front, good hands. Basically, does that count as 2 blocks?
It should.
Blocks it with the right, and he made it look very simple, difficult to do. But at 6'8", he has length and size. And his frame, that frame will just continue to get better. So physically, he's got an opportunity to continue to develop, which will also help his ability to defend multiple positions.
Consensus top 20 national recruit, went to Alabama for a year, missed some time there with injury, but McDonald's All-American, the 10th to play at the University of Oklahoma. Reset of the shot clock for the Golden Eagles. Step back three, Harper. And short on that one, there's Reed grabbing another rebound.
Yeah, and that's 2 jumpers by Harper because Oklahoma has turned him into a jump shooter, a guy that is typically tremendous going downhill.
Reed off the mark with that. And Turner escapes with it. Dow, quick catch and shoot three, drains his 3rd of the night. So Connor Dow knocks that one down. We got a whistle because we've got an equipment issue there. I think Reed blew a tire. Quick change, though.
Now here's Dow right here. See, again, away from the ball. See him catch that in rhythm, Chad. Good footwork. Mentioned his 3rd 3 of the night. You know, Porter Moser, and I agreed with them. You know, he said, you know, Oral Roberts has 4 players from the state of Oklahoma. And you know that this is a game that they certainly circled as an opportunity to come to Norman and play the Sooners. Dow being one of those.
Xavier Brown rims out, but Tate Davis cleans it up with the putback. Yeah, there are 7 players from Oklahoma in this game when you count both rosters.
There you go.
And Dow, he's cooking. That was a heat check and still sizzling for Connor Dow.
And if you're Oklahoma on make or miss here, you better find Dow up the floor right now because he is feeling it.
Attack cuts through. Shot was impacted by the defense of Neve that time, and here come the Golden Eagles. Still down 28. But Dow has gotten hot here. Turner finds a lane. Neve fouled by Reed. 2 free throws coming up here for Ofri Neve.
Yeah, much better offense. What Oral Roberts did right there. Nothing in primary, Chad. You see how they pushed it? And when you push it, you get the defense on its heels and you flatten them. So in other words, flatten them in a position where you can flow right into some ball movement, into some offense. And the end result was a nice little 2-man play right there to Neve.
A little uptick in play here for Corey Barnett. He said, you know, it's important not to try to gauge or feel like, hey, we're ahead of where we thought we would be or we're behind. He said, just play. Do what we do. And more than anything, he wanted to see a response. You know, he felt like against Belmont, after they had a grinder and a heartbreaker against Tulsa, he said they were a little flat in their response.
And he said, looking back, you know, maybe too many tweaks defensively, you know, maybe a little too schematic versus just sticking to what they do. You know, pressure out front, try to disrupt and not make things easy.
Look at Davis draw some contact and finish right through it at the rim.
You know, we talk so much about Oklahoma's offensive performance against Nebraska, particularly those guards, but Davis had 17 points. He was 7 of 9 from the floor in that game.
He's averaging 13 and nearly 10 rebounds a game is Tay Davis. Harper has to kick it out. Mo McGee is back in there, staying in front of Yamanuchi Williams. But he back cuts and gets fouled. Pack went up to try to block it and picks up the personal. Porter Moser still on top of his guys about the defensive end. He's over there talking them up right now.
So I can tell you exactly what he's talking about. See the roll right there? See how late Pack is in rotating over? He should have. See, there's nobody in the lane right there. I mean, those guys are hugged up way on that right side, and that's what he's concerned. That's exactly what he was telling his bench over there, and he's telling Pack right now. Look, it's like the shell drill.
Oh, I know the shell drill.
You know the
Absolutely.
shell drill. They did that in Shawnee. I know, Coach Banfield. One foot in the lane. If the ball's X across the court, Pack's quickness, he'll have plenty of time to get to the shooter. If that were to happen and be right there in the catch, and as quick as he is, he can probably run it down. So those are the lapses he's talking about, on the ball and away from the ball. And certain guys have got to get better in those areas.
And he'll continue to harp on it. And Pack's a guy he's been around enough. 2 years at K-State, the Final Four run at Miami before coming to Norman. They'll get it straight. Good pass by Forsythe to spot the open Tay Davis, who rains home another Sooner three. Forsythe's making a big difference tonight.
Well, something positive, I believe, for Oklahoma tonight. Nice play right there by Oral Roberts is this, Chad. Davis has knocked down a three, Jones has knocked down a three, and Reed has knocked down a three.
Multiple weapons. How about another here for Davis? Not this time out of the corner. Wagee back taps it for Pack.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
and you know that's going down.
I almost said, yeah, that's good. That's good.
Nigel Pack, second amongst all-time three-pointers made, active in NCAA Division I. Man, if he is left open like this, you can go ahead and put it up on the board.
Well, here are Oklahoma's, I believe, 7th and 8th threes of the game. I tell you, Forsythe's done a really solid job of getting to the paint and then kicking to shooters. That's nice right there. And this is a broken floor. All right, I'll just, boom, knock that down. There's Pack. So that's 14 threes now for Pack in the last 3 games.
Nigel Pack came into the night leading the SEC in threes made, and he has added to those tonight. Nigel Pack, 3 more made triples, 333 in his career. And a lot more to come. Biggest thing for him, as Porter Moser has talked about, is he's healthy. He just was not healthy his final year at Miami. Played only 9 games because of injury. When healthy, he is an elite shooter. And probably when he's not healthy, he's a good shooter too.
Shooters can shoot no matter the circumstance.
He's at what, you know, I talk about this all the time. He's not a shooter, Brendan. He's a maker. Everybody thinks they're a shooter. Only a few of them are makers.
And you know how I feel.
Were a maker.
It's so loosely thrown out there. This guy can shoot.
Oh, he's a shooter.
And a lot of the times, this is definitely old man comments. I'll just go ahead and be forthright. A lot of times, really what that means is, you know, there's a few games a year this guy gets hot.
Yeah, he's not a shooter because he's not a real maker.
Number 9 right there, that is an elite shooter.
Yeah.
That is a shooter.
Approaching 8 to go. Forsythe continues to play make for his teammates. Wonko lost that off his hip, but regroups. Davis right around his man and right to the free throw line. That first step. Watch that first step. It's a doozy.
Okay, I talked about this a couple of games ago with Oklahoma. I like Davis when he can catch in space, Chad, 12 to 15 feet. This is short corner. See that right there? Because he's isolated, and I mean, he just goes right by Gray. Elbow area, free throw line area, short corner. He's going to be able, he can take bigger players because he's 6'8" and physical and attack them in that situation. And then he certainly can attack smaller guys like Gray. I love him facing up from that distance.
Oklahoma, the #1 foul shooting team in the SEC coming into the night. We won't be happy about those misses from Davis. Under 8 now. Nice save down there, Harper. And Wonkwo's all over him. 10 to shoot for ORU. This has kind of been the story of the night. Tough offense. Gray's got to get one up. Offensive foul. You think Jadon Jones made a defensive difference in this game in his first appearance as a Sooner, Brendan?
No, it's really good. Really good. He has a reputation for being a defender. He loves to guard, takes great pride in that.
Well earned, as we have seen tonight from Jadon Jones.
But notice that entry pass lob, while it was in the air, how many players would have tried to steal it or gamble? He immediately goes, squares up, outside the lane, and gets in great defensive position. So why Jones is a good defender is not only his effort, his length, and his athleticism, he's also very good positionally. And that's why 2 years ago in the Big West, he's the Defensive Player of the Year.
And knocked down 77 threes that year, 33 blocks and 61 steals at Long Beach State. 12 to shoot for ORU, just looking for some easy offense, but it's been hard to come by. Martin backing down Wagee, trapped.
Now solid, don't foul.
Turner plows and scores. Now, sometimes better offense beats good defense.
Yeah, you can live with that defensively. Really nice right there by Turner.
So Turner tonight's got 7, 5 rebounds and 5 assists. Going to be a vital cog for this team. Wankwo puts it in reverse. There's Wagee. And rebounded by Martin. Martin rebounds well. He's only about 6'4", but he's not afraid to get in there and mix it up. 5 rebounds for Martin tonight. And the other way, the deuce by Harper.
Yeah, Corey Barnett really talked glowingly about Chase Martin. He's tough, plays the right way, understands who he is. He comes by that honestly if you know his dad.
Hard-nosed player at Oklahoma Baptist.
Oh, yeah, he beat me about 4 times when I was coaching.
The flip to Gray, who finishes the play, and Porter Moser has seen enough of this spurt by ORU. They've made 6 straight field goals.
And, yeah, a great, intelligent timeout by a coach that understands. Hey, this team, you don't want lapses defensively. It's been good for the majority of the night, but you got to finish on a positive note, or it's all for naught. .551 left, but what good teams do, they finish in the same manner that got them the 25-point lead, and thus Porter Moser not happy calling that timeout. As you look at the numbers, they've been, until last couple of minutes, Oklahoma's been really, really good. They forced 17 turnovers, the most so far this year. They just haven't been turning people over. Gonzaga only turned it over 7 times. Nebraska only 5. You can't outscore that against good people. But they've been good tonight. Here's the other side of it. They've only turned it over Oklahoma twice. And there's Wagee again. But they have, as a team, collectively been taking care of it. So it's not like they got to turn teams over 15 times, because they're going to take care of it. But they can still win the turnover margin with a little bit better pressure and containment up front.
Mo Wagee's got 20, and Ty Harper's got 2 free throws. Nigel Pack fouled him. That is 3 on Pack. Harper continues to work. He had 20 against Belmont, 18 against Oklahoma State, and he had a double-double against Haskell 2 nights ago. These guys played to the Golden Eagles against Haskell Indian Nations University at the Mabee Center. On the road here in Norman tonight. And this guy's going to be a big part of things. Multiple-time transfer. Began his career with 2 seasons at Louisiana Lafayette, the Sun Belt, then Eastern Washington. Played at NAIA school, the Masters, as well. That's not in Augusta, Georgia. Last season, Youngstown State. So well-traveled, but a difference maker here in Tulsa.
Yeah, Oklahoma's done a really nice job on him because he's a good player. Gets downhill. And one of the things I heard Coach Moser say to his team today during shoot-around in the scouting report, you can't let Harper get comfortable, and they haven't.
Screen set by Wagee to get Brown free. Pack pops, fires, yes. Automatic, Nigel Pack. You just get him a little room.
Effortless little space with the screen right there.
Just catches it in perfect position. It's a clinic. Jadon Jones has been a clinic. Pitch ahead, Pack. Up with it, in reverse and in. Nigel Pack's got 18 all of a sudden.
Yeah, nice little trap. You have Pack and then Wagee with his length. And then Jones on that weak side was just waiting on that.
How about 13 steals for Oklahoma tonight, and they forced 18 turnovers by Oral Roberts. Yamanuchi Williams burying the 3. Hasn't made a bunch of them. That one goes down. Pack lobbing up top, Wagee. Strong with it, but missed. And dashing out of the pack comes Martin. Harper not slowing down. We touch 4 minutes to play at the Lloyd Noble Center. Pretty solid on-ball defending. Shot clock did not reset. It's at 3. Nice extra corner pass for Harper, and he cans it with 1 on the shot clock. Good patience and ball movement by the Golden Eagles.
Yeah, we talk so much about Harper getting downhill, but he can knock down those threes. 11 three-point makes coming into tonight.
He is the 4th Golden Eagle in double figures. Sooners can hit you so quickly. Xavier Brown the score and a timeout with 3:22 to play. Oklahoma has put this one away long ago. Sooners back home at the Lloyd Noble Center, going to go to 3-2 on the year. .322 to play. The sound of the Sooners entertaining fans at the Lloyd Noble Center. And Nigel Pack has entertained the crowd as well. 18 points. He and Xavier Brown each averaging 19 per game. And a career high for Mohamed Wagee. Throw in a block for Wagee with the 20 points and 7 rebounds. Would you say the kind of game that Porter Moser wanted his team to have, bouncing back from that tough loss against Nebraska and South Dakota?
Yeah, I think he'll definitely take it. I mean, it's improvement. They're more focused. Didn't have a ton of breakdowns. There's a little stretch here in the latter part of the second half. Thus the timeout, but yeah, absolutely. Like we said, Oral Roberts against good competition has put us some numbers offensively. And other than that small stretch, they never really got in rhythm for very long on the offensive end.
Final 3:20 of this one. Oklahoma will be back at the Lloyd Noble Center to face Alcorn State coming up on Sunday. And then they go to Chicago for a Friday game the day after Thanksgiving against Marquette. Slashing Harper. Pitch out 3 ball for Martin. This one batted out of bounds. Won't be long when we'll be in SEC play. The league that sent 14 teams to the NCAA tournament, including Porter Moser's Sooners last year. Alabama got a big win last night. Speaking of Chicago, Baron Philon with 24 for the Tide. They won 90-86 over Illinois in the Illini's backyard. Georgia, Ole Miss, and Missouri starting 5-0 this year. In fact, Missouri's in action tonight, taking on South Dakota. Going to see Porter Moser go to the bench here. We talked about the freshman Kai Rogers, 6'10", out of Wauwatosa, Wisconsin. And he will see his first playing time of the night. 4th game in which he has played. Man, if he can get some playing time and add to that depth inside, be a big difference maker.
Obviously, he's got a bright future ahead of him. And then I think it's good to get him some minutes. But yeah, I mean, if you got 2-3 minutes a half out of him, by the time you get to SEC play, that would be huge. And I think they can. He's just got to continue to work, be patient, progress. And then at some point, he's going to get his confidence. He'll be off and running.
Steal here by Neve. Lost it on the way up. Trying to keep possession. And did he get a timeout called? Got Byron Jarrett over the ORU bench. Might have a foul call.
Gets the run through right here. Watch him peek behind and then loses the handle. Feels the shadow of Reed right behind him.
Did you ever do that when you were going in for a dunk? You go look at the trailer and just lose it on the way up? That stinks.
Going for the... I had a better chance of pulling up like in a situation like that on a 15-foot jumper.
Sure.
And making it than finishing at the rim.
Got a timeout here. 30-second timeout. Porter Moser still coaching his guys hard.
Yep.
Man, they have played a schedule, though, haven't they? We talk about the Marquette game they've got coming up. Neutral site games that they've played. And here's a look at the future schedule. I mean, at Wake Forest, Arizona State, and then Bedlam up in Oklahoma City at the Paycom Center. That's going to be fun. It's a men's, women's doubleheader.
Yeah, they're playing people. Played Gonzaga, played Nebraska away from home, Marquette. away from home at Wake Forest, obviously away from home, Arizona State, not at home, and at least that one at the Paycom Center, which will be a really good game. I mean, they match up somewhat similarly. I've seen both teams quite a bit, but that'll be a high-level war. At least that's up the road. But Porter Moser set this schedule up certainly to get prepared for SEC play.
So the play is under previous review. In the neutral site games, they help with the NIL and exposure for student athletes, but they're playing at Credit Union 1 Arena, home of UIC against Marquette. They're going to play in Phoenix at the Phoenix Arena. That's the Jerry Colangelo Classic. And then, as we mentioned, the home of the Oklahoma City Thunder up at Paycom Center in downtown Oklahoma City. And then they'll jump into SEC play. This is Jeff Hartness over at the mic.
Now, if he continues to swing back.
Yeah, you've got a 6'11" guy and a 6'7" guy. That's just kind of physics, maybe. Here's a quick catch and shoot. Aaron Jacob, I like it. He's right into the game and pulling the trigger on a three. Run out, Nwankwo, finished. Up high and down hard for Jeff Nwankwo. And then I think maybe Neve stepped across the inbound line. And rather than call a turnover, they're just resetting it. Is that what I see?
Yeah,
Brendan?
well, no, I mean,
maybe we weren't ready for play, so to speak. At any rate,
yeah,
it'll be ORU
I'm not
ball.
sure, or if Oklahoma got in the way or tapped it. I don't know. At this point, it doesn't matter much.
Neve skips to the rim, drops that one home.
Hadn't had too many opportunities like that, but that's one of his great strengths. Little ball movement, really good straight line driver at that 4 spot for ORU.
Rogers had it poked away. Nwankwo fouled out near midcourt. That is 8 fouls against the Golden Eagles. And so Nwankwo will shoot the 1-and-1. And Oklahoma's going to get Reed Lovelace into the game out of Crossings High School, just up the road in Oklahoma City. So Crossings High School. Cal Furnish over on the ORU roster is a Crossings product. And there they are at the top of the three-point line. Lovelace and Furnish. And Porter Moser, as you said, was talking about that. Good to see the Oklahoma high school players represented in this game. Reed Lovelace seeing some time. Sooners have Dayton Forsyth, of course, who's from Dale, Oklahoma. And 4 Golden Eagles are Oklahoma natives.
I remember a time when the 4 Division I basketball schools in Oklahoma would have quite a few players from the state.
High off the window, no. The follow is good. You just think about some of the great players that have come through this Oklahoma program from Oklahoma. Alvin Adams, Wayman Tisdale's, all the way through Blake Griffin and Trey Young. Just to name a few. Forsyth falls away. Look at Rogers go up, retrieve it, and finish it. There's that confidence boost you talked about.
Yeah, those type of plays help. But he's got to start, and he will. Really where you show it, Chad, is in practice. I mean, you're going to have that motor every day in practice, and not necessarily when the lights are on. But that's common with young players, with young bigs. What you really want out of your bigs, high motor. You know, just
There's
play,
no substitute for that.
Yeah, just play high motor, both ends of the floor, and then with the coaching staff and the player, you develop, learn how to play, gain experience, etc. But you got to bring it every possession. So sometimes it takes a little while to condition yourself to know how to do that. I mean, I remember when you know who I played for, and I thought I was there, not because obviously I wasn't there for my talent. I could shoot it, and I was tough, and I played hard. But I was told when I got there I don't play hard enough, and it was confusing to me. But you have to learn to play with the toughness and intensity. This is a completely different level.
Final 30 seconds of this one. Oklahoma getting back on track. Sooners over 90 points once again. They've scored 90 or more now in 4 out of 5 games this season. Loveless lobbing, and Rogers finishing. Love the unselfishness.
Yeah, I like what Loveless did right there.
Shot clock is off. Martin hoists and banks it home to close things. Well, you'll take that. And a pretty complete Oklahoma victory. They hold a solid ORU team to 71 points. Bounce back from their neutral site loss to Nebraska up in South Dakota over the weekend. And for Corey Barnett, the first-year head coach of the Golden Eagles, 2-4 on the season at the beginning of a 5-game road trip. Porter Moser giving some love to the Golden Eagles players, and he'll talk it over with his Sooners. Brendan, what did you think of Oklahoma overall tonight?
Well, first of all, in the first half defensively, they set the tone. And, there wasn't anything spectacular, but it was solid, it was sound. They pressured the ball, they were in help position, contained, rebounded well, played really clean. And so I think that that's a positive step forward. Hey, they did it on a night, look, they still scored 95, and Brown didn't have his typical game.